No. Oh man, to the fourth weekly episode of 2024, baby. Woo, man, super excited today. The Premium Advantage, helping you save time and money in insurance and taxes all year long. Today, some important, valuable information and some,
as always,
special guest, our co-host, Mr. Jacinto.
What's up, everybody out in podcast land? Hey, special shout out to Don Pedro for my shirt. Appreciate this. If y'all can see that. American and Mexican, Mexican-American. Proud out to my dad for giving me that.
I like it. And now, a long time coming, Mr. Vikesh Patel today.
Thank you.
And Miss Monica Garza-Hovel, thank you. Is it Hovel? Hovel. Either one. Today, from Kearney, Williams, and Davis law firm, to share some information about themselves, information about their past, information about their future, information about what they're at, and how they can help business owners today. All right? I think it's great. Thank you very much, guys, for making the time to come out here.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you both for having us. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for taking the time to listen today. We really enjoy that you're making it time.
Nice. All right, cool. So, I guess we could start with the easy or the hard questions.
Don't make it easy.
Don't make it easy.
Gotta make
nice.
it challenging.
All right, cool. All right, question number one. Where are you from and how did you get here?
All right.
Where are you from?
That's the hard question.
And how did you get here?
I
I'm scared to know what the easy ones are.
All right.
Well, I'm from Laredo, Texas, on the border to Mexico.
Laredo.
I went to the University of Texas where I majored in journalism.
UT?
Yep. And I took a class, one of my required classes was media law.
Media.
And that's where my interest was kind of spurred in I realized how important it is to protect your rights and what you create. So I applied to law school. I wanted to come to Houston just because there's such a good market here.
Absolutely.
And there are so many creatives who need the help.
Yeah.
And I got into the University of Houston Law School and I went. And,
you went to law school.
Yeah, and now
Go Cougs.
I'm
Nice.
an attorney.
Congratulations. You shortened a long. What was your period between the time that you thought, I think I should protect, I can protect people with the information that I have, to the time that you actually finished? What was that road looking like? What's the time frame? I'm interested in this. Your struggle.
I mean, I realized that very early on in undergrad.
Yeah.
So I graduated early.
Whoa!
So I would say.
All right.
Look at that.
That's how you do
3
it.
years.
Oh, wow.
That's how
Okay,
you do
a
it.
3-year road from the time. I mean, to keep in mind that there's an effort that has to be made. It's not like, I just woke up and now I can help folks. You have to prepare yourself. You have to have this, and then now we're here. Right? All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. All right. Vikesh, what you got?
All right. Well, so I'm from Florida.
Oh.
I'm from Tampa, Florida, but I went to the University of Miami.
A Florida man.
Yeah, I'm a Florida man. Go Canes. I did my undergrad degree in biomedical engineering, and then I received my master's in finance thereafter.
What?
I know. People go, and now you're an attorney? I never had the plan to go into law. In fact, I was kind of on the medicine track. I loved helping people, and I loved the medical field, but I had a change of heart, and I just kind of realized there's a different way to help people.
Sure.
And
There's lots of ways,
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And the biggest thing for me was I saw a lot of my friends and a lot of people out there come up with great ideas, and and it was just hard on how do you protect them or how do you go about protecting them.
Sure.
And the concern was they would lose them or they wouldn't get paid enough or whatever it may have been. So before at that point, after I did my master's in finance, I decided I was going to go to law school. But before all that, I figured, well, I just got this finance degree, so I went over to London for about less than a year, and then I came back over here to Houston. I figured if I was going to go somewhere, I was going to go to a nice city, a lot of opportunity, and a lot of great food and good weather.
Okay.
So here I am in Houston, and I enjoy it outside of the freeze.
Okay.
And, and so now I practice law here, and I enjoy every day of it.
And y'all can't see this, but he also has amazing boots.
I do.
These boots are so fly. It's like as soon as he walked in here, I was like, man, I gotta touch those boots. So I'm gonna touch them somewhere in the middle of the
show them.
bucket.
We're gonna show these boots in a little while.
so
I
fly.
could probably try to lift it up, but I don't know if my leg goes that high. So we'll save it for another time.
I didn't see them earlier. I didn't mention anything, but yeah, look, good eye, good boots. We're looking for good boots.
Tecovas.
I'm
That's where
telling
you
you.
gotta go.
All right, so if you guys wouldn't mind sharing a little bit of the solutions and of how you guys, well, I guess if you guys want to share the nature of the law firm and how this law firm applies to both of you and why y'all think this is why we work with this law firm to implement these solutions.
Yeah, of course. So let me kind of jump into to that one. So Kearney, McWilliams and Davis is a law firm with 2 flagship offices.
Okay.
One in Houston, Texas, and the other one in Denver, Colorado. We also have offices in San Antonio, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area, and Grapevine, and then Sheridan, Wyoming. You may ask, why Sheridan, Wyoming? And a lot of Texas. But the firm started off as an oil and gas heavy firm, oil and gas title, opinions, mergers, acquisitions, you kind of name it. That's what they did. And we still do that today. In fact, half the firm does that. But the other half of the firm, if you will, I say is more on the fun track, and that's the intellectual property and business side of the firm. So the firm started off with 3-4 people in about 2013, I want to say, and it's grown to
1 decade.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
been about a year. Yeah, or sorry, 10 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, 10 years, and we're about 70, 80 people. Still 5 states, but we have about 20 to 30 different licenses. I'm licensed in several states. Monica's going to be licensed in a couple different states already in Texas, but between the firm we have a pretty good coverage, and we enjoy what we do. And then service wise, outside of oil and gas, we do a lot of intellectual property. We do a lot of business, whether it's forming businesses or destroying businesses, buying businesses, selling businesses. We do a good amount of real estate, whether you're looking to acquire land or you're looking to set up a rental Airbnb empire.
Those empires are popular these days.
They
I like how
are.
you said empire.
Who wants an Airbnb empire?
Everybody
Who wants an Airbnb empire?
Who wants an Airbnb empire?
Hey, it's something big, but we'll have to come back to that one on another day. You'll have to invite us back. You can spend all day talking about rental property.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Concerns there. And then we do some commercial real estate. We do, what else? Corporate immigration as well.
Ooh, corporate. That's a hot topic. It's a hot topic because you say corporate immigration, and my top thought is, well, solutions. There's solutions behind those 2 words because what does that mean? Corporate immigration and the solutions that come with that, with that on the table.
Sure. So very quickly, I guess. So I don't practice the corporate immigration side, and neither does Monica. But the way we like to say it is this: there's a lot of talent out there.
Yeah.
And the talent doesn't necessarily reside in the United States. It could be in Europe, Australia, Asia, wherever it may be. And companies sometimes want to acquire that talent, and it's how do you bring them over? How do you get them on the right visa? What's the strategy? And it's not necessarily an easy field to navigate.
Sure.
And
complicated.
Yeah, and we've learned with a lot of our business clients, and especially in the medical space or the biotech space, there is a lot of talent out there, and they would like to acquire that talent. And so aside from doing the employment and labor side, the contracts and the handbooks and whatnot, there is the how do we get them here and how do we keep them here and what do we need to do. There's also investor visas for people that are wanting to start businesses here, and that's another topic perhaps we can have down the line. But it's a hot topic. It's something that's needed. There's a limited amount of visas every year, and so it's about figuring out which one you need to get into.
Let's get the smart ones over here, man. I just saw a recent article that the smartest person in the world right now is a little girl in Venezuela or something, as far as like IQ. It's like in a little tiny town somewhere, and like the entire town is like getting together to get her into the right situations because she's literally got the highest IQ of any person ever.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did they find her?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah.
She must have been
She's
so.
just
She's
super
so smart that there were
She-
people that were, whoa.
Yeah, she probably was like figuring stuff out at like 4, 5, 6.
She's turned around the country. Okay, got it.
Seriously though,
Gotta
in
get a good one.
some little tiny village.
Wow. I
Yeah,
gotta
so
look
we
that
gotta
up.
reach out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now keep this in mind,
Take a look
folks.
at that one
There's so much information all across the board, right? All across the board. And so this is the nature of the channel, the solutions that we have. Now keep this in mind. Cross-referencing is tremendously important. Tremendously important. So one of the reasons why we have professionals like y'all with experience, with background, with information that can be confirmed. You know what I mean? So keep in mind. Right, don't take 100% of everything Cinto just comes up and says. Check it.
No,
Am I
always.
still gonna check it?
Always check everything we say. I always
Maybe.
say to my clients,
Maybe.
even with like, you know, my day job, I'm a personal trainer, and I'm like, look, this is the way I want you to do things, but everything, go look it up.
Yeah.
I mean, double, triple check
Any
everything.
feedback, let us know.
You have the
This-
opportunity right on your
Yeah,
phone to
yeah.
to check it out immediately after you
Get
talk
your
to someone.
get your sources. Look around. That's why we use international sources in this in a lot of these situations. Oh, where are you at? What are you hearing in this situation?
Absolutely.
Now, if you wouldn't mind a little bit more about the super interest that brought you into this, the intellectual property side, and that's how we met. I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly how we met.
By the way,
How did
my experience,
Yeah.
incredible with the
How did y'all meet? How did that work?
Yeah, of course. So there used to be, or at the Ion, and
Yeah.
sadly, it used to be, and we were here.
Yeah.
It was this event called Cup of Joey.
They don't have
So-
it anymore.
No, shout out
What?
to Joey Sanchez.
That was an
and-
awesome event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely take a look. But I
Yeah.
think he's going to grow his brand elsewhere
Mm-hmm.
and continue to make an impact in the community.
Sure.
But,
For him.
that's where we met, and
Right.
you know, something that we do is anyone that's kind of in this space that wants to start a business, we're happy to kind of sit down and talk with you, and you have a brand that you're building,
Yep.
right?
Premium advantage.
Premium advantage.
The
There it
premium
is,
advantage.
and we filed the trademark for you.
Premium advantage.
Exactly. So that was where we met and how we kind of jumped our
I like it.
relationship.
And the information and the communication was, I perceived so accurate because I checked it all and I went back and I'm like, oh, this looks all good to me. And it took a while, but here we are in the next step of this. I appreciate you guys coming out in 2024 to set a path for success for everybody that's coming along this way.
When it comes to intellectual property,
Yeah.
does that regard like all things? Like specifically, I'm thinking about right now. It's a hot topic is jokes, comedy, and people stealing them.
Ooh,
Sure.
So I don't know if y'all heard about Cat Williams. We had this talk about last time on the last episode. So Cat Williams is a very famous comedian, and he's really popular. But he just went viral recently because he went on a talk show, or a podcast rather, and destroyed all other comedians who have been stealing jokes over the years. The thing about comedy is that if someone goes on TV and says your joke, it's theirs. Even if you can register your jokes with the Library of Congress and then take them to court, but even if you can prove it's your joke, the court of public opinion still believes it's his joke because they saw him do it on TV. What do y'all think as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, so you're getting into a copyright issue, right?
Okay.
Because that's his intellectual property.
Yeah.
So I think it varies, right? If you have a copyright for it and you can prove it, then
So that's the problem,
statutory-
right? So if you don't, like an open mic comedian who's poor and just like tracking some jokes out, and a heavy hitter comes in there and hears it and steals it, goes on the Tonight Show, that's it.
You're kind of in trouble.
Yeah,
And-
see, that's why it's so fascinating, the intellectual property thing to me. Like when it comes to like
Sure.
art, literature, publications, peer-reviewed studies, like all these things. It's easy to say, oh, that person did it, but there's so many other ways that people can kind of slide by, and it's just, oh man, it's fascinating. Your thoughts?
So, would you like to take the first stab at this one?
So the thing with copyrights is you have a natural copyright as soon as you create something and it's in a fixed medium, which could be like it's on paper or it's recorded.
Okay.
But unless you have a copyright registration, you don't really have recourse if anyone steals your work.
uses it and monetizes it without your consent.
Can y'all help people get those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And
Okay.
I think this is a good
Books,
part for us to
books are
everything.
Yep.
Anything,
books,
anything publishable.
very
I think.
popular these days. Oh,
Yes.
nice,
Okay.
nice.
And I think this is
Books is
probably
good.
a good spot to kind of say, well, what is intellectual property, right?
Sure.
Because everyone's like, yeah, I've got intellectual property, but they have no clue what it means. So I'm going to give you a quick course.
Break it.
Super quick.
Bring it.
So there's 4 types of intellectual property that I like to say. The first one is trademarks. The second one, copyrights. The third one, patents. And the fourth one, trade secrets. Did I miss anything?
Wow.
Trade dress.
Trade dress too. You're right. But
Wow.
that's kind of like you walk into a Starbucks. All Starbucks look the same, right? Or
Oh, I
McDonald's
see.
or
Yeah.
whatever it may be. So
Gotcha.
what do each one of those things mean? Because we get a lot of people come in and go, I really want to patent my name. And attorneys just kind of laugh and go, yeah, okay, we can patent your name. No, it's not a patent.
No, okay,
It's a
sure.
trademark. So let's start with trademarking.
like this.
And that's what we met you with, right?
That's right.
It's about your brand. It's you've got your brand name and it's associated to a service or a good, and it's about protecting that. For example, McDonald's is in the business of making burgers. Pizza Hut pizza, United Airlines is an airline company, right? All these companies have gone ahead and trademarked their name associated with, or their logo associated with what they're doing, what their actual business is. And that's the first easiest step you can take. Now, the next one is copyrights. And so copyrights, like Monica said, it's anything in a fixed medium or tangible, right? And that could be whether it's a book, a recipe, a painting. And, just depending on what it is, we can have that discussion with you and say, yeah, this is copyrightable or this isn't. And then the next one are patents. And patents, I want you to think of inventions. And there's three types. There's flower, and that's exactly what it sounds like, our flower plant. It's, how do I put it? It's like you come up with a new plant, literally. Like you mix a strawberry and a kiwi.
Oh,
and you
wow.
can do something like that.
Like all the plants they're making in California.
Yeah, maybe like those. But no, it's not as simple as that. But then the
Texas
next
flower.
one, yeah, Texas
That
flower.
Texas
There you
flower.
go. The next one's what we call utility, and utility could be, think of like you're reinventing the engine, or you're creating like a device.
Okay.
Man,
Or
somebody should reinvent the engine.
you might
So
batteries
wasteful.
or however you're doing
So
them.
wasteful.
Sure, and it has to be novel or unique.
Right.
It could be a method, it could be an apparatus, a system, however you look at it. And then finally, and this is probably where a lot of the fashion folks come in, are design patents.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the look and feel of something. It's so unique, right?
Yeah.
Like, look, this mug, for example,
Sure.
right? You can't get a patent on a mug, a utility patent, which is kind of like how it functions. But the look of this,
Yeah.
right, is so unique that you don't want anyone else to print it. So you file a design patent for it. Now, whether you get it or not, it just kind of depends on what's out there, and we can do patent searches.
I see.
But we can have that talk, and then finally, and I'll let Monica speak to trade dress, but I'll talk a little about trade secrets, and this is the secret sauce, right? The secret formula.
It's a secret about the trade secrets?
Look, hey, some of the craziest ones: Coca-Cola,
Yes.
the KFC secret recipe.
KFC was a big
And-
one.
and
An employee spilled the beans on that.
Wait, everybody gets the KFC secret?
And
Yeah,
they
we
lost
have
their
it
mind.
now.
Oh, no, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
just go online and go
We have it
KFC.
now.
Oh, let me go on there right now.
Yeah.
Go right now.
We can go start opening our own shop up. And then it's the other one is DW40. But look, Coca-Cola, there's only 3 people that have the code to the secret formula, right? But none of those 3
Of
people
Coca-Cola?
of Coca-Cola.
Oh.
And those 3 people
Cocaine, water.
a lot of sugar and food coloring, right?
coloring,
25
that's
and
it.
30 and whatever other colors are.
things.
Yeah. But with trade secrets, it all comes down to your contracts with your employees
Okay.
and what handbooks you have in place, and
Oh.
we do a lot of that in NDAs, non-disclosure
Oh,
agreements. And so, employment labor, just kind of watching out for what your employees bring to the table and what they may take away, or if you enter into a joint business venture, there's a lot of concerns about what you have. Remember, a lot of the times you may not get a patent or a copyright on something, because the second you do that, it becomes public domain.
Sure.
And once you put it out in the public, well, then you've given up your secret formula. For
Wow.
example, DW40, I want you to go find a can of this, or WD40, sorry, WD40.
WD-40.
Sure.
Yeah, get a can of it and look at it and go, what's in this? How is it made? It's nowhere to be found. It's a secret. And so we can have a long discussion with whoever about it, and we have to figure out what's so secret about what they're doing or special. But if it's special enough, then yeah, it's a trade secret, and it's worth a lot of money to your company, your business. You're going to make good money off of it. Let's figure out how to protect the secret sauce. And then
That's good stuff.
trade dress.
Trade dress. So trade dress is kind of like a branch of trademark. It's the way your brand is presented. So for example, think of an Apple store, they all look the same. The way their tables are all lengthwise and they have everything's white and then light wood and
Right.
glass doors.
Yeah.
That would be Apple's trade dress. And it's a bit harder to prove
Sure.
than a trademark, but
Sure.
it's still a part of your brand. And if you have a trade dress that you use everywhere, so let's say you have a shop, it's in every single shop and it's very uniform, then that's where you'd want to protect it.
Interesting.
Actually, most folks don't think about these things.
No,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And so because there's different levels with regards to business owners. There's starting business owners that don't have potentially the vision to have a dress in mind with regards to their business. I don't want to dress my business just yet. I need to make money.
Yeah.
Well, so what about that type of support? Are you guys able to provide for that business owners that is getting started and they need those initial steps, right, before the dress?
Of course,
I'm curious about that.
And Monica and I do this quite a bit. You know, we believe in having a open initial consultation, just like a lot of attorneys out there, just kind of hear what you're doing, and you know, we'll even file your entity, you know, while we're on the phone with you if you're engaged with us. It's these are not hard things for any attorney to do, rather. So if someone is trying to upsell you on something, be a little concerned. Look, in Texas, the cost to file a limited liability company or an Inc. is $308.11 with the Secretary of State. Then you're going to need a registered agent, and that's just someone who kind of receives the business paperwork or the legal paperwork as it comes in. You should never make it yourself, and we can have another discussion about that down the line.
Sure.
But you know, we give that as a free service to all of our business clients, or rather any of our clients. You know, we want you to know and to sleep better at night. If a lawsuit comes in and you're the registered agent and you receive the papers, you're going to freak out. But if it comes to our office, then it gives us a chance to look at it and say, oh, okay. So when the one comes in for Roberto, for example, I'm just going to call him and say, hey, look, this came in the mail. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Or if I'm really concerned, we're going to sit down and have lunch, and I'm going to be like, so we got to talk about the branding you're stealing from the... No, I'm just no.
At least it comes with lunch.
Again.
At least it comes with lunch.
It comes with lunch. And then we'll tell you what our strategy is and how to fight it. You know, we do a lot of commercial litigation as well, and we've just realized, you know, we don't want to spend a lot of time in the courts and waste your money, and when we can just settle these things and get on with business. But yeah, when it comes to business owners that are looking to start, we are happy to help. We're happy to have the conversation with you, tell you what your concern should be, whether it's just what kind of entity you should file and why maybe why Delaware over Texas or Texas over Delaware. Or why doing something anonymous.
Delaware? Delaware?
Yeah. And something else that's big while we're on this note is for those of you with entities out there or that have filed one recently, there's something called the Corporate Transparency Act, the CTA. For anybody that has filed anything after January 1st of 2024, you have 90 days to file something with the federal government. Yeah. And for anyone this year and moving forward, I believe it's 90 days, but anyone prior to that date, so December 31st, 2023 and prior, you have till the end of this year to get that filing on file. And it's not an easy filing. It's pretty intense, and it asks a lot of questions, but rest assured that as far as I can tell you, it's something that's still going to be private. The federal government has it, and it's for their reasons to kind of keep track of things and to make sure that nothing fraudulent or suspicious is going on is my take on it. But I suggest you look at the Corporate Transparency Act. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to kind of walk you through it or tell you a little bit more about it or what you should look to do. But back to your question, yeah, from small business owners that are starting, we're happy to kind of discuss with you. And even if you've started something, we're happy to discuss with you. Something Monica and I recently have dealt with is a lot of business owners go into business with another person and they don't think about the repercussions of not having the right documents in place or how the relationship is going to work. And then all
Facebook.
of us...
Look at that.
Yeah.
Only one guy ended up there.
Yeah, he got it all.
Who started what? No, it's just the one guy.
The other guy was a Latino, the Portuguese guy.
Yeah, and he lost everything.
Yeah.
So
Get it in writing.
It's exactly important to get in writing, important to figure these things out, how the tiebreakers should work. And that's why you really need to speak to someone, because we see a lot of businesses go south just because they don't have this stuff figured out. They think, oh, I can trust this person.
Right.
Look, you can't trust anyone. You just can't.
My perception is that you can definitely 100, you can trust the person today, but it's tomorrow's person and the person after that.
Fair.
Right.
You know the same person in 7 days, everybody changes, you know, so that's the complex part. That in writing keeps it in, no. We started, and this is what we wrote down 7 days ago. Seems like you forgot. Right. So it keeps everything aligned with regards to what that agreement was. It shifts over time mentally. If you don't write it down, as folks start doing their own assignments in their company and people start doing litigations, that 50-50 that folks originally agreed to is like, what was that?
Yeah.
And to add on that note, you know, a lot of people go online and they pull agreements and they think, oh, I can get it off of this X website for super cheap. Okay. And then you're going to soon realize that you've made the mistake and you're going to pay more to get it fixed. And I'm not saying don't use those documents, but have your attorney in general look over those documents and point out the concerns to you and say, hey, look, I'm concerned because it says 50-50 split, but it doesn't say anything about a tiebreaker, or it doesn't have the right provisions in place. And that's the problem with documents you buy online. So just be very careful with that is all I can say.
Yeah. And that's one of the natures why I appreciate you so much, because the information that as I received it was so valuable in my perception.
Yeah.
That now there is a tool available for new business owners to, as they streamline their way hopefully into business ownership, they have that connection to contracts potentially that they may be needed so that they don't get ripped off, and then also potentially for intellectual property, so that as that business grows and the opportunities come up for the business to brand and things, that's from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it starts off as opposed to maybe 5-10 years of like wasted. It's my perception, you know. So that's the nature of why I appreciate the connection, because it was so efficient whenever you with the transaction. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. You know, in my perception, super good information and tools available. All right. Any industry? Some examples of some industries that you guys can give us some examples of?
Fashion.
Ooh, I like that. We got fashion industry. What's up, some fashion?
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah. We got
Hey,
some on the
that's something
website.
that could be copyrighted. That's something worth talking about.
That's right.
Yeah. So no, besides fashion and cosmetics, we do food and beverage. We do
Ooh, secret
healthcare,
sauce, literal secret sauce.
construction, real estate, medicine. Veterinarian services.
Some examples of intellectual property in construction. Is there something there? Intellectual property in construction. I'm curious about processes.
Sure. I mean,
Curious.
really,
I'm just starting thinking.
Construction. It's possible that maybe there's some new tool they're building
right.
on how to do a certain function, right?
Sure.
So maybe that's something that's patentable.
Sure.
On the other hand, their brand, their name, right?
Right.
You think of all these big construction companies, that could be something.
Like construction adjacent,
Sure.
architectural work.
Sure. There you go.
Copyright.
Architectural. Right. Correct.
Yeah.
So those drawings, copyright.
An architect, a construction company could actually, if the owner perceives that, hey, I want an architect to draw this, the owner of the construction company or the construction company could apply. It's in lieu of the architectural company who's making the design for you. Does that make sense? Is that applicable? I'm just talking like, I'm thinking, if I was a construction company, I can never get an architectural patent?
It could depend. I think you might have the ability to get a design patent on something or a structure or how you do it. I'm on track for doing the patent bar, and I'll be there soon.
Yeah.
But we've got 4 or 5 patent attorneys at the firm, and I'm happy to connect you with any one of them. They're all brilliant across very heavy fields. They've done a lot of different things, from like fishing lures and what else have we done? We've done like things like fishing lures to downhole complicated oil and gas tools to software, AI. You name it. We've done quite a bit of patents.
I like it. With regards to food and beverage, any examples on food and beverage that you guys can think of that are, because there are a lot of folks in Houston, and my perception is that's growing, is those options you see in the grocery. What is this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
I'm curious for those developers.
The big thing in food and beverage, I feel, is trademarks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to give a shout out to...
I like that. Trademarks, right? Your brand, right? Whatever it looks... Right, that's
And
right.
I'm going to give a shout out to Pudgy's Fine Cookies.
Pudgy's!
Cookies.
Fine cookies.
We help them with their trademark catalog. There's also other food and restaurant food and beverage companies or businesses out there. Sorry, Eureka Heights, El Tiempo, you name it, True Anomaly.
Yeah.
Those breweries as well. We've done a lot of those guys.
Interesting.
We've helped them with their branding and their protection. So
cool.
You name it. Yeah, that's something big.
Awesome. I like it. This is definitely something to think about as folks grow their business, want to protect what options are available to retain some of that value as it gets created, especially in Texas or in Houston where there's so much market, like you mentioned before.
And people don't know either. I think this is so fascinating because people don't even know.
Don't even give it some thought.
Situations.
Don't give it some thought.
It reminds me of I just set up my OnlyFans. Check out my OnlyFans. And seriously though, I have they have OnlyFans TV now. I have a friend of mine.
Okay.
He's actually going to be headlining one of my weekly shows, one of our showcases. He is now there's a comedy side. There's like an entertainment side. It's called OnlyFans TV, and there's comedy, there's music, there's aside from all the crazy things that people that OnlyFans is famous for. Now they're trying to branch out, and he has a show that he does. I think it's monthly now. That's sponsored by OnlyFans, and it's called OnlyFans TV Comedy Night. And so they have comedians coming on. So anyway, but when you sign it up, because he asked me to sign up so I can possibly get on, and I have to fill all the paperwork out. There's a lot of information, and then there's some legal documents that they want you to sign over before you go over there. And I'm just like, oh no, this is how I get hooked in. This is how I become one of those people of the night.
Yeah, you signed your life away. That's it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So we don't know this information. We don't know. You got to be careful when you just start signing things away. So get with these folks, man. This is amazing information.
I like it. You have some updates for us, Sinto.
Yes,
Something new.
yes.
Unless,
I have
at this point, before,
yes.
sorry.
Go ahead.
What else?
Yes.
There were so many solutions that you guys threw on the table. What else do you guys think, before we go into the next topic, that can be applied, that folks can reach out to you to go, and then, by the way, how would one reach out to you? How would one submit a request? How would one set up an appointment? How would that happen?
Sure. So I think one of the easiest ways to kind of reach out to us moving forward is our intention is to provide some sort of information to the Premium Advantage on their website, and you can reach out to us there, and we'll get you connected with the right attorney. I'm always happy to take the first initial call and kind of figure out what it is, and Monica as well, and we'll kind of put you in the right direction. If we can handle it, if we can't, we'll say try this attorney elsewhere. We're pretty reasonable on those things. So if you always want to reach us, kmd.law. That's K for Kearney, M for McWilliams, D for Davis. .law. You can look up myself, Vikesh Patel, or Monica Garza-Hovel, and then you can find either of us, email us, and we'll be happy to kind of set up that time and speak with you.
The vibe I'm getting right now is like anybody who has a question and you're not sure that's a possible situation, you can give these folks a call and they'll put you in the right direction. I think that's the bottom line, and that's such valuable information to have.
It's one of the reasons why I also appreciate it so much, because that is correct. Right. That is what it is. If somebody, which a lot of times folks live with these questions, live with this thought of, and then their only door is like some attorney that's like, hey, to meet, it's going to cost you $1,000.
Right.
Hold on, I just want to ask a couple of questions.
Right.
Yeah, and it gets expensive, and we've been in this game, and we've kind of realized that, look, some general, basic, simple advice up front to kind of give you a good runway moving forward means you're going to come back. We're not crazy priced down the line. We like to flat fee things. We like to kind of tell you up front what it's going to cost. We even do things for free from time to time just because it's easy, right?
It's easier. It makes it easier. Just go.
Yeah, if we see that there's a lot to do and we can make it more efficient, we will. If we're filing 1 trademark or 100 trademarks, if we're filing, they don't have to be so expensive. And the problem with, using those online websites or doing it yourself is you're not sure and you might mess up, or the online service, we get a lot of those that we have to save. So, just reach out, ask us. We're happy to kind of walk you through and talk to you about it. Email us, mention that you saw us on this podcast. Give a shout out to these two. And look, we're happy to set up that time with you and kind of discuss with you further.
Awesome.
Beautiful. All right, Mr. Patel, I actually went onto your Twitter account, and I want you to explain this tweet for me, please. Everybody, when y'all get off of work, go shake some ass for me.
That does not sound like my Twitter account.
Oh, that's Sexy Red. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, that is not me.
Sorry,
Hey,
my fault. Okay, well,
look, you got to have a little fun in life, right?
that question's out. Sorry about that. The bomb I have to drop for Rob. I wanted to see his reaction. Y'all look at his face when I say this, because it involves entertainment and money. Entertainment and money, things that Rob really loves. So, check this out. This just got dropped. Netflix
what did they
and
say?
WWE
What are they
just
doing?
signed a deal. 10 years, $5 billion.
Billion!
$5 billion.
Wow. And what's the offer?
So that's what it is. They're going to be showing WWE now on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're not going to be on TV anymore.
Boom!
Yeah. So
No more channel 39?
None of that. So now,
What?
So Apple TV, Disney, all these big companies are in the running for this apparently.
For channel 39's content?
And one of the
Wow.
I'd say like Michael Jordan's of lawyership, I would say. I don't know if maybe y'all would answer this better than me, but like one of the greatest lawyers in my estimation is the guy Ari from Entourage. right? Because he made that famous. It's a real person. He did these amazing things for Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Or probably just Marky Mark, not the Funky Bunch anymore. But anyways, so this guy, that attorney Ari from the Entourage show, he was part of the deal. So he's in it too to make all these billions of dollars.
Billions.
So I don't even know people, number one, watch wrestling anymore, and number two, that it's that big of a market that they would give $5 billion for it.
You're referring to the wrestling.
WWE.
I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah. Wrestling.
Back up.
The wrestling, man. Like $5 billion.
No, that's a humongous market.
Dude,
that's a huge market.
It's a big market.
That is wild.
It's because there's so many stories behind that market, and that's what they're looking for. Trust me, it's the movies and the shows behind all those stories that people want to watch.
John Cena.
You name it. Those movies
Hulk
are
Hogan.
all. It's gonna be a
The
good one.
Undertaker.
So just keep that in mind. That's what's behind this whole deal. Yeah, okay, I guess that sounds intriguing.
No, it's fascinating, man. That's huge money, and the fact that all the other companies were fighting for it too. One of the informations that I saw about it, I think it was on Bloomberg actually. They were interviewing a really smart lawyer guy, and he was saying that they probably checked their markets first. Right, like the majority of the people who watch WWE are probably in certain parts of the country and have certain subscriptions to certain streaming services. So they considered all those things, and that's why that number came out. And it's like, wow, man,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So would you like our thoughts on
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
Would you like to go first?
Please.
I mean, I don't know much about WWE.
Okay, I'll jump in.
The Rock? You don't know The Rock?
Being a lawyer, the first thing I heard there was, data. And I'll tell everyone this, if you're in the space of having a website or apps, and this is a sidebar, right? If you have a mobile application, a website with a terms and condition, privacy policy, you're collecting data, you need to make sure that stuff is done well. You can pull that stuff off certain websites, but sometimes it's important to get certain checks done, or you may not be including certain state laws. So let us know. We're happy to kind of review those things, because those things are important, or get your attorney to review them, or reach out to someone, please. Because data, two things. One, everyone wants their privacy. And when someone starts collecting data, it starts raising a lot of flags. But on the other hand, as he just said, data is what's driving a lot of decisions, right? So it's very likely that Netflix looked into the markets and saw around, and they realized it is worth their time and money. This is a licensing deal, more or less, right? And they're giving exclusive rights over. I haven't read into it too much yet, but this sounds like the MLS and Apple TV, right? What a crazy money deal that was for Lionel Messi and the entire MLS. Yeah. But these kind of deals, they're not unheard of. They're going to continue. It's quite fascinating, and I think, unfortunately for everyone out there, you've got to get another streaming service if you don't have it, or you're gonna get rid of one that you thought you liked. But it's all about the money and who's willing to pay, and the deals become very complicated at that point in.
Hyper complicated. What I just heard is Netflix is gonna go up.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Keep that in mind. You heard it here first.
And they were looking.
It's gonna go up.
And they're finally figuring out how to get people from sharing accounts.
Yeah, that's a real
I've heard. I don't know about that.
You weren't ever sharing your account? That's good.
Yeah, my mom may have been, but I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
And it works. I mean, I've heard.
It's my friend's.
You got to be slick now. I've heard.
Awesome. All right, cool. Man, I went through the entire topic line with regards to everything we wanted to discuss.
A headache.
Yeah,
that's
well,
awesome.
we have some options or some information available for autism. So that's, in the autism community, there's a big need for that. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Texas Autism Academy has solutions for children with autism and the education, and you guys have solutions for state, right? And it's a growing concern. So my perception is the more folks are informed and the solutions are implemented, it's kind of a better situation for everybody. That's interesting. Estates. Yeah. What else?
So on that estates topic, as we say, whether it's wills and trusts, or creating a will, having a power of attorney, or maybe you do have a lot of real estate that you want to put into a trust, or create a family trust for your family because you have wealth. And one of the reasons we offer this service is because we have a lot of business owners that get to that point and they don't know what to do with it, and B, there's a lot of people that don't have wills. Or don't have any of that set up, and we are happy to get that prepared for you if you give us that chance.
It's not something that you want to talk about with your family, obviously, but it's something you all need to do because God forbid it happens, and it does happen. Accidents happen, things happen. I've dealt with it with my family, and it's horrible when you don't have that situation. So please get your will situation set up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What else, Kevin? Anything else?
Yeah.
Good? What else you got? Talk to us.
I guess,
much.
there's so much we can talk
so
about.
informative, man.
Correct.
We talked a little about intellectual property.
Yeah.
For those entities out there, people looking to create businesses, there's different types. There's limited liability companies. There's incorporations.
I've seen partnership are more popular these days on the LLC side. You know
Which
what I'm
kind?
saying? Like just partnerships straight up instead of a single member LLC. I've seen more folks do 2, 3 business, 3
Exactly.
owners.
So look, I'll give you the quick 101 on LLCs versus incorporations, right? A limited liability company, I want you to think of like a pie, right? A circle, or 100%. Whether you have 1 or 50 people in it, or 1,000, everyone's going to have a percentage. And there's 2 types of LLCs really. There's a member managed and there's a manager managed. And depending on how you do these things, if all members, if it's a member managed, any member, even with a fraction of a percent, can act on behalf of the business. But if you don't want that person to have any say, then consider a manager managed. And you make them like a silent partner, or you can bring in investors that way, right? But it's important to have a good operating agreement in place. And so, this is a great way to do a lot of partnerships and put them into there and put them into an LLC format with a company agreement or an operating agreement. Incorporations get complicated with, directors and officers and shareholders and shares and
the processes and the voting.
Yeah. And then, then there's nonprofits, and we do those as well, 501c3s. Or just any kind, really, if you're looking to set that up for whatever special purpose.
That needs 3 folks on those, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. You do need 3.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you did. Hey, he knows his stuff. And look, we encourage you to look these things up.
Yes.
And come informed, or spend the time looking them up and come to us with questions. It's better to do that, but we're always happy to give you the 101 and kind of walk you through things. Yeah. It tends to be a good conversation and for you to know what you're getting into. If you understand the business, you know it better. Outside of that, we've talked a lot about that. Contracts are important.
There are times when folks want to have maybe like a subcontractor agreement or even an employment agreement potentially, and things of that nature that are not our people's specialties.
Employment contracts, employee handbooks, independent contractor agreements. Whatever it may be, you talk to us, you tell us what that person is doing for you, and we'll tell you it's this. Or, he said, subcontract agreements, and we talked about construction. For anyone in the construction business, whether you're a plumber or you're an electrician or you're a roofer, and you're providing something to big general contractors, contact us. Because let's say they don't pay you. Well, how are you going to get your money? Well, we can go help you get that money, but you gotta file liens. You gotta do the liens. Get that money. You gotta file those liens correctly. You've got to take them to court correctly. Give them the proper notice. So those things we do, and we're familiar with them. And if you want to set up I'm going to use that term, empire, a construction empire. You want to go out there and build homes or build commercial plazas. It's important to have those contracts in place.
2 solutions in play: Airbnb empire.
Yep. And
construction company empire, baby. Who wants it?
Debo you for your money.
Who wants it?
Give me your money.
They're all available with solutions. I like it.
Beautiful.
I like it. What? Oh man, more solutions?
Look, we can go all day.
Sure, I like it.
And we're happy to. But perhaps if there's something else or another time, you guys can say, hey, let's specifically talk about this.
What we typically are setting up is follow-up episodes, So as folks understand and get the information, can we get this information on this? Because I could have, as you mentioned, a bunch of questions, but I'm still learning, I don't know what I don't know. Yeah. Same thing with the audience. Correct. So maybe a follow-up episode, look in this one, what we missed, what information was valuable, and then share more information.
And folks, put some comments down below so we can know what other information we can put.
Something that you didn't like, something that you like more of, let us know. So that the next episode, more valuable, we keep it going.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Anything else, Cinto?
Come check out my comedy show, Hacienda Tacos y Tamales is the name of the place. It's in east side of Houston. Every Friday we have a showcase. The only thing funnier than a comedian is a paid comedian. We're paying these guys, so they're going to be extra funny. So come on out, check it out, hahacinto.com, on the Instagram, hahacinto, for more information.
Cool. See you guys next time. The Premium Advantage. Save you time and money, insurance and taxes.